Hey, so today we're talking about David Gruffydd III. He was born on 11th of July 1238 in Gwynedd, and he was the son of Llewellyn, and his brother was also named the same, but different people. So his father used to fight for King Edward alongside him in battles, and his brother used to fight against him for Wales. When his brother passed away, he assumed the leadership role for the Army of Wales. This is the best depiction I could find on Google to show you what his brother looked like. So David called himself the Prince of Wales and the Lord of Snowdon. That was just a title he basically rocked out with, but he eventually got captured. It was kind of inevitable because he was the enemy, but they got him anyway, and then they brought all of the noblemen to Shrewsbury to watch the trial and witness everything going on. The courts and King Edward had decided that they're going to make an example out of him. They had the trial. It was carried out by John DeVoe, and it was going to be that sentenced to death, but it's how they were going to do it, what they're going to do to his body and everything was basically the deciding factor. So they were deciding that, and they called him the last survivor of a family of traitors. Now, how they decided to execute him was another story. They didn't just hurt him, they got the sons, all of David's sons, and put them into life imprisonment in, I think it was Bristol, and then the daughters were all taken away and put into a nunnery so that they live out their life at the convent. His punishment was done in 4 stages. So there's the first stage was he's dragged through Shrewsbury at the back of a horse, or dragging at the back of a carriage, and then they took him to the scaffolds. That's where they hung him, and then once that happened, they disemboweled him, so they chopped his bits open, everything went everywhere, and then the last part of it was they quartered him, they beheaded him for treason, and then they quartered him, which is when they've got a limb on each part of a horse, and then the horse drags, like the horses run in a separate direction, so what it's tied to will just come off, and then the crown, or the king at the time, or courts, had decided that they were going to put each limb in a quarter, like in north, south, east, west, like in each corner of the island, and his head joined where his brother Llewellyn's head was put in the top of the Tower of London, as a continuous reminder to the people that this is what you get if you go against us. Geoffrey of Shrewsbury was the one that was paid to carry out these acts, and he got 20 shillings for it. So I googled it. 20 shillings is only $1 in today's currency. $1 back then was probably not even much, but desperate times, I guess. But yeah, so that was that, and that all happened on Saturday, 2nd of October 1283, and that was David Gruffydd, and he was the last survivor of a family of traitors. Even though, if you're thinking about back in those days, England was taking over everything, and people should be able to defend what's theirs, but colonisation and all that. Yeah, so that's David Gruffydd III. And here's the little pictorial of what it would have looked like when he was getting quartered, but minus the head, because they did chop that off too.